Bees. They play an important role in life on Earth. They pollinate our world, they give us honey, and they also sting us. Sadly, however, bees are dying at an alarming rate. Last winter, the bee population went down by 40.7%.
Jeez.
If this keeps up, then eventually all the bees will die out. Luckily, there's a solution by using bioengineering.
RoboBees.
These robotic bees use biomimicry to take over a bee's normal function. They have wings that are identical to a bee's, so that way they can mimic their flight patterns. The design of these RoboBees consists of three main components: the body, the brain, and the colony. The body is half the size of a paperclip and is designed to be 1/10 of a gram. It flies using artificial muscles and is comprised of materials that contract when a voltage is applied. As a computer scientist, I'm most interested in the brain development. The brain uses smart sensors and controlled electronics that mimic eyes and antennae of a bee. The colony's purpose is to allow all the robots to communicate with each other and act as an effective unit. These new bees would not only take over the role of pollinating the earth, they could also be used for weather recording, surveillance, or even search and rescue missions.
That's sick.
These crazy flying robots could have an insane ecological impact on the world.
Really?
A lot of scientists think that without bees, humans cannot even exist. Bees are responsible for 70% of the non-meat food that humans consume. This means that with the introduction of RoboBees, food could become a problem of the past.
Heck yeah.
Those are some of the positive impacts of these RoboBees, but some of the negative impacts might be that if these bees are all attached with cameras, they could be used for surveillance, and mass surveillance is not something positive that a society needs. And also, by being robotic, these bees have the potential to be hacked.
Oh no.
This could mean that if we are solely relying on these bees to pollinate our plants and they get hacked, then that could mean a huge disaster for the planet. So, we designed a robotic bee that can do all the tasks a normal bee can do. But why not go further? Why not make the bee we've always wanted? The bee we've always dreamed of.
The jumping hydro RoboBee.
It can fly, dive into water, swim, jump out of the water, and then safely land. These new robots were developed at the Wyss Institute at Harvard University. According to the institute, these are the first micro-robots capable of repeatedly moving in and through complex environments. They really had to rethink their design from the previous RoboBee, because if a bee swam in water, the water is so much denser than the air that their wings would snap off. They took the classic bee wing design that nature gave us and altered it by changing the wing size, the flapping rate, and scaling it down so that bees could operate in both air and water. Speaking of the flapping rate actually changes whether or not the bee is in the air or is in the water. If it's in the air, the flapping rate is 250 beats per second. However, if it's in the water, it's only 9 beats per second. If the bee wants to transition from water to air, it needs a little help. The researchers decided to use electrolysis, a process in which water is separated into hydrogen and oxygen gas. A tiny electrolysis device was placed on the bee, along with the sparker. Once the RoboBee begins to exit the water, the sparker is ignited, and it launches the bee 30 centimeters into the air. This new robot could have the same uses as the previous robot. It could also be used for environmental surveys and even disaster cleanup. Overall, the RoboBee and the jumping hydro RoboBee are great examples of how biomimicry and the bioengineering process can have a positive impact on the world. They have vast ecological benefits and inspire society to look at nature for the answers. I'm Brett Nye the Science Guy, and thanks for watching.